Let me just record. All righty, guys, today is our November team meeting, and I know it's not even November yet, but the reason we're doing this is because a couple of us are heading to Nashville for a director's retreat, and we won't be available on the 4th. So we are trying to cover all of our bases and get you guys prepared for November. And I have a lot of good stuff to share with you today, as a matter of fact. So if you don't have like a notebook or something like that, I would definitely drag one out, because we have a lot of good stuff to cover to help you get more bookings, to help you get your business, rocking and rolling for the month of November. If it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to for October, we have a recovery method in place to help you get what you're looking for. So first and foremost, as you guys probably know, this time of the year is absolutely incredible for sales. And so, a traditional $600 party can be $900 or higher. Sales averages are up exponentially, where the average order is, during the normal year is about $70. This time of year is over $100. So it's time to capitalize on as many opportunities as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and let me set that up here. So this is not a recognition meeting. We're going to do our recognition meeting sometime kind of near Thanksgiving, a little bit before Thanksgiving, because we wanted to make sure that we covered enough topics to help your business, expand for November. And we didn't want to take time for recognition. And ultimately, we don't even have all the stats, because the month doesn't close until Monday. But once we do, we'll have a recognition meeting. But I do want to take a quick minute to celebrate Jennifer Lowe. And she actually just signed her very first recruit. So let's give Jennifer a big congratulations. And I also see Brenda, who is on the line with us as well. And Brenda is her brand new consultant. So welcome, Brenda, and congratulations, Jennifer. So today we're going to, again, jump right in. As soon as my connection hits here, we'll be getting this thing going. For some reason, it's slowing down here, not the way it's supposed to be. All right, I guess it would help if I share my screen. So let's get that part going. All righty, so here we go. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Should say November meeting on it. Which one do you see? Do you see the one with the slides on the left?
Slides on the left, yes.
Okay, so let me pull that in a different way. Give me a second. All right, let's share screen 3. Okay, do you just see November meeting?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so again, welcome everyone. And I know some of you are, Lori's out trick-or-treating. I just gobbled down my dinner. Susan is eating her dinner. Brenda's in her car driving. I know Julia probably has 3 kids on her back like a mama possum. So again, I appreciate all of you here with us today. And it's definitely going to be worth your while. So let's go ahead and get moving. And today we're going to talk about 4 big topics. One of them being time management, the power of an hour. We're going to talk about fundraisers 101, learn the who, the what, the why. We're going to talk about some fall booking ideas, one concept called pick a number. And then we're also going to talk about making our parties unique, authentic, and the concept of letting them see you. So we're going to dive right in, because we have, again, a ton to cover in a very quick period of time. And everybody will get a copy of the actual PowerPoint as well as the video presentation after it downloads. So anything on here that you see, don't feel like, again, you have to write everything down, but if anything kind of hits your buttons, I would definitely write that down. So let's see if you guys can, you may have already seen this slide, so I might have ruined that, but the question is, can you name one skill that is extremely difficult to master? And this could be a skill that is something that is in your professional life, but also in your personal life. So who can take a guess as to a word or a skill that is extremely difficult to master? And maybe you guys already saw it. But if you did, it's okay. You can tell us.
Time management.
Time management, right? We just talked about that, right? Time management, no question about it. It is incredibly difficult. It's probably one of the best things you can do in your life, but it is incredibly difficult to make that happen on a regular basis, especially. What else is a skill that is extremely difficult to master?
Focus.
What's that?
Focus.
Focus, right? Focus is the same kind of thing, keeping your eyes and your thoughts on one particular topic and trying to stay, right there in that present mode. So the word that you guys may have seen, and that was my apologies there, and the word that we're going to focus on today, which really relates to time management, is the word discipline. And discipline is, everything all those kind of concepts that we just talked about. These are some of the quotes that I picked up along the last couple of days. One of them says, do not focus on what you're doing, focus on why you're doing it. So that kind of really portrays to the things we talk about in this business in the sense of, what is your why? Your why is what's going to make you, used to make us get in the car and drive to our parties. Our whys are what are going to make us do things that we're not super comfortable with. We all know that we cannot grow very well in our comfort zone. The idea is really to find your comfort zone, but then really stay as far away from it as possible. Mike Tyson, not the greatest example, but I thought this was a great quote. He says, it doesn't matter how good you are at anything. If you don't have discipline, you have nothing, because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. And that was that last part of it that really caught me. And, we can relate this to so many things in life. For me, I relate it to my daily, I hate to use the word struggle, but my daily struggle with ensuring that I don't eat, too many calories. I make sure that I get my 10,000 steps in today or every day. And so it's not necessarily something that I hate, but I really don't like to be all that mindful, but this is the body I've been given, and now I need to take care of that body. And so for me, that's where a lot of my discipline comes into play, is being very mindful of those things for myself. Your discipline might be finances. Your discipline might be staying focused on the business. Your discipline might be getting to work on time or getting to church on time, whatever the case may be. But I think the last line really resonates. Discipline is doing what you hate to do or don't like to do, but doing it like you love it. And I think what happens during this process of this discipline factor is that when you can kind of quote unquote master a level of discipline, you do begin to like it and love it. I do notice that my mindset changes once I've been, really focusing on what I was supposed to focus on for a day or two. So when actions are backed with good reasons, doing those actions become much easier. He who has a why can bear almost any how. So the why, again, is why for our business. Why, do you have to make these reach outs? But if you can, focus in on the fact that that's going to be your vehicle to get you from point A to point B 9 times out of 10, then it becomes bearable, because that's how we get to the how of the how is how we get to the why, I should say. So for me, these were big, big things. And then I found this final one, which I was like, oof. That's so simple, but so true. And the final one is discipline. The devil loves a doubter. And for me, that was kind of impactful, because kind of thinking about discipline and not having it and leaning on that side of the coin is not too fun for me. So after kind of reading about this a little bit, discipline is something that I really want to focus on personally and professionally. And that kind of brings us into our more lighthearted topic of the Power Hour Pie. And that's where we're going to focus now. So the Power Hour Pie, you may have heard of the Power Hour, and I can't see many of you, but raise your hand if you've heard of the Power Hour. I can see a couple of you. So the Power Hour is definitely a game of discipline. Nothing happens in our business without this discipline. So discipline, game, plan is the power hour pie. So if you think about a pie, and if you divide the pie into 4 slices, and we're going to look at this pie like a 60-minute pie, and you divide that into 4 slices, you have 15-minute slices of pie. And so in order to make this power hour pie work for you, number one, you have to know why you're doing it, which is the whole idea in the beginning. You have to have some sort of timer, and you need your lead list. That's how I would recommend that you start. So how many slices of pie do you need? Well, if you have no bookings on your calendar, then you should make all of your 4 15-minute slices about reach outs. Reach outs, for those of you that are new, are messages that we send to friends, family, people online, acquaintances to get additional parties on our schedule. Back in the day when we walked in people's homes and we did parties and they checked out, they would fill out a prize drawing slip and we would have some level of their interest with that prize drawing slip. However, the good consultants really never even relied on the prize drawing slips. They relied on the connection that they made with that person at checkout. So we lose that entity of possibility when we have these online parties. So we have to do things a little differently. We have to kind of we have to shift and pivot. So we have the opportunities similar to what we had in our home parties. If you have a few bookings on your calendar, maybe you're not exactly where you want to be, but you're getting there, then maybe if you only have this 1 hour of time in your day, then 2 of those 15-minute slices should be reserved for reach outs. And if you're set with bookings, you've got your 4 parties each week for the next 2 weeks, then maybe 1 slice of your pie is dedicated to reach outs. So the idea is this: many of us have pockets of time, right? So I got this really great idea, and I have actually followed this probably for 8 or so years, not every day consistently, but when I'm being very disciplined and mindful, I follow it every day. And that is, I learned this at Weight Watchers, and they said, you may not have 40 minutes in one time slot throughout your day, but you have 5 minutes 8 times a day. So if you worked a full-time job, you would get up, you would walk in place for 5 minutes, and you would do that 8 times. And by the end of the day, you would have a 40-minute workout. And it really doesn't matter if you're doing 40 minutes continuously, because at the end of the day, you're still getting your steps in if that's what your goal is. So there's some days I just don't have time from going from my full-time job to this job. Some days I work from 6 to 9 or later. And so oftentimes I'm just going to have to take those 5-minute time frames, and I can usually get in about 13,000 steps or more just from being mindful of the 5-minute, or getting up every hour for 5 minutes. So so this is the same kind of a concept. You don't need to spend a whole hour on your business. I mean, if you did, you could probably nail 150 reach outs in 1 hour and be done. But if you only have 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, 15 minutes, midday, and 15 minutes in the evening, then that's all you have. The key is to make these 15-minute pie slices work for you, you kind of have to have a little bit of preparation beforehand. So you can't just walk into your office and say, okay, I'm going to reach out to 30 people in 15 minutes, and I don't have a plan of any sorts, meaning you don't have a list, you're not sure who you're going to reach out to, and so on. So you have to have a little bit of pre-work before you have this action plan in place. So let's take a look at the next slide. And this is how we can potentially, let's just back up and say your calendar is full, okay? You have exactly what you need. And maybe your goal is not to have 4 parties a week, but we know the importance of the 4 parties, because oftentimes I will schedule 6 to 8, and I usually only end up with about 4 to 6. So it's usually 2 are going to drop off out of 8, or 1 is going to drop off out of 4. So if your calendar is where you need it to be, one slice of your 15-minute pie would be reach outs. And again, that's having your pre-work done, you know, kind of who you're going to reach out to, or you're reaching out to the green dot people on Facebook. Maybe you're not prepared today and you're just going to reach out to the green dot people. Or maybe you know there's 30 people in your party and you haven't reached out to those people yet. So boom, you can reach out to 30 people very, very quickly. So that's one slice of your pie for the day. Slice 2 is going to be 15 minutes worth of follow-ups. So maybe you did some reach outs yesterday, the day before. Now you're doing 15 minutes worth of follow-ups. You would be really surprised. I actually had my lead list ready, and I actually put this method to the test before I actually did it. So I had my lead list ready on Monday. I had about, I think, 70 people maybe on my list. That took a little time to build, but there was other ways I could have done it to make it a little bit quicker. But I built my list of about 70. And then I just started saying, boom, 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 messages out the door. It took me 22 minutes to reach out to 70 people. So if you have no calendar whatsoever, and you have nothing on your calendar to reach out for, spend your hour there. So let's say that your calendar again is full. So one slice is going to be reach outs. Second slice is going to be follow-ups. Third slice is going to be party comments. Let's say you have a couple parties going. This is what I use. You can use your watch. You can use whatever you want. This is the Pampered Chef's clock timer. I put it on for 5 minutes and I spend 5 minutes in each party each day. That's all I got time for. And that's what I do. And then slice 4 is 15 minutes of host coaching. So this is how you can kind of mitigate your time and feel mindful. Susan and I had a conversation earlier this week, and you know, we both, and all of us are like this. You go into your office, you get on Facebook, you have the intention to do, you know, all these reach outs, and then before you know it, you've been in there an hour and you felt like you've got nothing done. And that's frustrating. And then it also kind of makes your family think, well, are you playing office or are you making money? So you don't want to play office. Whenever you go into your office, the very first thing that you should be doing, or whenever you pick up your phone, the very first thing that you should be doing is doing things that are going to bring in money. So creating Canva slides, editing your template, none of those things are going to make you money right now. The only thing that is going to make you money is having parties on your schedule. So I know the temptation. It's fun to do the Canva stuff, but I can do Canva all day long and I'm still not going to have money in my pocket. So focus where your paycheck is going to be padded. And that's on the people work of our business, not the paperwork, or virtually the paperwork. All right. So let's talk about how do we make this, how do we become disciplined? So that definitely takes discipline. You know, it takes routine, it takes focus, it takes decisions and so on. But there is actually a kind of a neat concept to think about. So riddle me this. I am a blinker, but I am not in a car. What kind of animal uses me? So I am a blinker, but I am not in a car. What kind of animal uses me? Anybody know? I wish I could see you guys, but I can't see if anybody's raising their hand. All right, I'm gonna tell you what it is. So what is a blinker? Susan, do you know? I saw your face pop up, so I thought you were talking. So a blinker is this.
Oh, I was thinking that.
Oh.
Couldn't get to my mute button in time.
Oh, poor thing. Oh, sorry about that. So many racehorse trainers believe that blinkers keep horses focused on what is in front of them, encouraging them to pay attention to the race rather than distractions such as the crowd. So you probably have seen horses, like even in the fields, where they'll have covers over their face, or maybe the horses are in a parade and they have those blinkers on. I used to call them blinders. They're really called blinkers, winkers, or blinders. So that's really the concept of what we need to do, because it is so hard. Like I always look at Facebook like a pinball machine. I feel like I'm the ball being ejected into Facebook, and there's lights and cameras and actions and notifications and ads and displays. And before I know it, I'm buying something on Amazon and I was supposed to be doing reach out. So, you know, we all do it, but we have to be able to put our mental blinders on so we can make progress in our business. So here are some practical tips to help you stay focused on Facebook, because that's where your primary reach outs are going to happen. One thing that you can do is turn off your sound. That's a huge piece right there, because if you, our Read Rockstar chat, I've had many people say I had to get off there because there's too much ding, ding, ding. But really, it's better that you don't get off. Just turn off the sound, and then that will help with that notification process. Or for a period of time, you can indicate, I want to turn off my notifications for a day, an hour, or what have you. Then that eliminates anybody from dinging you during that time frame. Have your lead list ready and focus just on creating that lead list prior to. So let's say we get off the call today and you're like, okay, I'm going to make 30 minutes. I'm going to focus in 30 minutes on my business, and I'm going to create a lead list. So tomorrow, when I go into my business, I'm going to take this concept, since I have no parties on my schedule, and I'm going to focus on nothing more than sending 30 messages out the door for those people that were on my lead list. I would encourage you to create a list of 60 or more, because in 1 hour, you can easily tackle 100 plus people. So build it as big as you can. You can even go on to Consultant Connection and create a spreadsheet, and then just literally go down every single guest and host that you've had and do your reach outs that way. Now, obviously, you're not going to be friends with every person that was in a party, but those that you are friends with certainly will be your host, and maybe a few other people as well. Have your lead list ready. That's the key. Have your timer on. So that way, when the hour is over, it's over. Then you can put your business away and go back with your family and watch a show or go out to dinner or whatever the case may be. But when you come back to your office and you have that next 15 minutes, guess what? You're going to have people sitting there saying, I'm ready to have a party. So I did 62 or 63 reach outs on Monday, booked 2 parties within like a few minutes, and then booked 4 parties on Tuesday, 1 party on Wednesday, and 2 or 3 people I still have to follow up with. So like 7 parties booked from those 60 reach outs. I'll take that any day, because they say that usually every 2 to 3 from 30 will book. And these are above and beyond the people that I've done reach outs for in my parties. So practice being focused and pray. I mean, really, I will do that. I will sit here and say, okay, please help me, spread this word. I know other people need this business, whether it's about the business, whether it's about just simply hosting a party, bless my business, so on and so forth. And, all of these things, you have to have action along with the prayer. You have to have action. You have to be focused. All these things kind of work themselves together. Single-handedly, I don't think any of them work all that well, but you have to simply bring them all together, tie them up in a nice little bow, and run your business with that very focused attitude. So that is a little bit about our time management. We're going to switch gears and go on to bookings. But before we do so, does anybody have any questions about that topic, or thoughts or ideas? All right, everybody good? All right, so we're going to go over a couple of booking ideas. And these are going to be booking ideas that you can use in and out of the party. So us directors strategized and said, how can we help our teams maximize their effort and get as many parties as possible right now? And the reason I'm telling you and the reason we did this is because we know it's ahead. And that's December and January. December and January are incredible months. As a matter of fact, the best months of the year, in my opinion, are between September and March. Those are the months that are just, to me, amazing. September wasn't so much of a great month, but some of you guys sold $20,000. So it was a good month for some, not the best for me, but this month and August were fantastic. So it just kind of works like that sometimes. But we're going to give you ideas, or we got together as directors and we said, what can we do to help our teams maximize their booking effort? Because we know what you do today is going to have an impact on November. What you do in November is going to have an impact a little bit on December, but mostly it's going to have an impact on January. You should have a personal goal that your January is halfway filled by Thanksgiving. And Stacy really encourages that your January is filled by Thanksgiving. So I'm going to give you a little leeway and say at least halfway filled. but all you have to do is just make a decision. And so that is where the discipline idea came in for me. I know it's going to happen. So I know I have to beef up my party schedule even more, because I know some of my consultants are not going to necessarily follow the encouragement that I'm going to give them. But I highly encourage you to do so. You will be thanking me come the end of December, because the beginning of January, they offer incredible incentives for you and for your host. And remember, the new trip is going to be unveiled here in December. And you want to be getting as many parties as possible in for January, because January is double points month ever since I've been a consultant. So you want to make sure that January is jam-packed. However, don't skip over November and December, because oftentimes parties that are booked way far out, you have to do a lot of work to keep those people happy and to keep them on your schedule. So I try to shove in as many parties as possible and have less out on the exterior part of my schedule than worry about being booked so far out, having 4 parties a week. So in other words, if I book 10 parties this week, I'm happier to have 10 parties this week than be fully booked for November, because I know the further the party is out, the more I'm going to have to work to keep them motivated. So however it works for you is however it works for you. But this is what we decided to do. We decided to put a $400 box of products together. So each of us threw a whole bunch of products virtually in a box. We are going to send out to the ultimate winner at the middle of December. So basically the way this works is we gave you guys this Canva image. And I also put it here as well. Some people are having some trouble with the image. So if you guys have trouble with it, let me know. But you can just simply screenshot it like I did here and let it be a still image. Otherwise, it's a GIF with music. Actually, it's an MP4 with music behind it, and it's kind of flashy. But it's not necessary. It's just simply an image that will help you. So the idea is this. You post this image on your Facebook wall. You post this image in your VIP group. You post this image on your business page. You share this image with every person that you are sharing the opportunity to book a party with. So basically, this image should be in your parties, should be in your business page, your VIP page, and on your Facebook wall. How many times do we ask our host to post an image on her wall about our party? I'll give you the answer. 4 or more times. Before their party even starts, we encourage them to do it at least 2 times. So if you've put this up once, congrats. But really, you need to go back and do it again, because Facebook only allows so many people to see this at a period of time. So if you put this up in the morning, it's going to be a different group of people than when you put this post up in the evening that are going to see it. So that this is going back up on my page today, and that way I can attract more people to this link. So basically the idea is this. It's a $400 product giveaway. You're asking everyone who comments on the post to drop your favorite holiday gift and to tag 3 of your best friends. So if they do this on your wall, then they can tag their friends. I don't know for sure, but I think one of our directors, maybe Susan, it was you, discovered that if you do this in your parties, and let's say I'm in the party and none of my friends are in the party, I cannot tag my friends because they're not in the party. Was that you, Susan?
Yeah, they can tag them, but it comes up with a little note that says they're kind of grayed out, and it'll say, these people cannot see this post because they are not in the group.
Okay, gotcha.
So they can't comment to people outside of the group.
Okay, good to know. So you could change this up a little bit, and you could say, share this with 3 friends, or you could even say, can I post this on your Facebook wall? And you'd be surprised how many, especially how many hosts would say yes. So that's an easy, fun way to kind of spread the news even further, because her reach is going to be different than your reach. And then what's going to happen is they're going to receive a special gift from you. It can be anything from $2 up. And then when they have a party between November, or well, really it was October 28th through, October 21st through December 15th, The parties have to be turned in by December 15th. Then every time they have a party, they get one chance in the giveaway. When all parties are submitted on the 15th, we'll have everybody's host that have submitted a party of $200 or more. We'll put their name in a drawing, whether it be on the magic hat or whether it be on the wheel spin, one of the two. And then one of our hosts, meaning you or mine or Susan's or whoever's, will win this $400 box of products. So you should be posting this in your party and tagging all of the guests in the party. And then you should be tagging everybody in your VIP group. You should tag several people on your wall who love Pampered Chef. Post this onto your Facebook business page and anywhere else that you can get traction. And then once you've posted this and you have people reply, we gave you the words to use to respond to those people. And if you don't have them, just let us know and we'll get you the Google Doc so you'll have that available. But we haven't had as many consultants as I would have thought would have taken advantage of this, because this is like a gift. This is a serious gift for you guys. So we want you to take this and advertise this. So not only are your friends getting the perks from the Pampered Chef, but they also have a way of getting a $400 box of Pampered Chef products. So if you have any questions about that, let me know now. If not, you can post it. You can share your questions with your director or with me at a later time. So anybody have any questions?
I don't have the words.
Okay, so I think I posted them in boards, but I will double check, Jen, because
Was it in boards? Okay.
I'm not going to say for sure, because I know I did a video on it, because we didn't have a lot of participants that day, but I will make sure either I get it to you or I'll give you the link, or I'll tell you what board it's in.
I posted it in Read Rockstar, the
Oh,
chat
That's
group.
what it was.
She just needs the Google Doc.
Okay, so
Because all the words are in a Google Doc that you posted
so did you post the Google Doc in Read Rockstar
in the
chat?
chat. Mhm.
Okay, so if you go into the chat, Jen, and you open, it says open up conversation, you can actually go into the entire Read Rockstar chat and find media and files, and it'll be in
Okay.
there. But if you
Okay.
can't find it, just let me know, because sometimes
Okay,
you know, it's a
understand.
lot of stuff. Okay, so
Got
that's
that.
one booking idea. If you haven't yet done this, hop on this. And as a matter of fact, one other thing I failed to mention is you should be posting this in all of your past parties too. So as a result of that, all the parties that you've done in the past, go back in there, tag everybody, schedule the post so you don't get flagged by Facebook. And then you'll have this ability to share this with all of those people as well. Especially if you do the tag, you have a better chance for replies. Okay, any questions before I move on to the next topic? Go ahead.
Is there this is kind of a side, but is there some type of video or something on how to do scheduling again? Because I don't remember how to do it.
Yes, actually, I don't know, actually. I will make one though, if there isn't. Facebook schedule. Yeah, I'll make one. If not, I can't make one on my phone, but I can make one for the computer. So any of the directors, if you know how to Facebook schedule on your phone, and that's how you usually do it, if you could make a video for us, that would be awesome. But if not, I can definitely do one for the you know, for the computer.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay. All right, so this is an oldie, but consistently a goodie, and Lori Miller will tell you this is how she knocks it out of the park week after week after week. This is the bonus prize giveaway, or some people call it everybody wins. So if you attend the Monday night calls, you probably have seen this image as well as all of these links. So at the end of the party, Stacy recommends the Google survey, and everybody is a winner. So what she's saying here is that, you know, please complete this Google survey. Your feedback is important to me. It helps me build my business. Please fill out this 60-second questionnaire. And remember, then everybody wins basically. So she's tagging everybody in this post. And if you don't know where this is, it's in boards, under training, under Monday night, under May 16th, training board. So it's kind of deep in there, but that's where you're going to find this. But this Everybody Wins is pretty spectacular in the sense of consistently booking parties. Now, would you do Everybody Wins and the $400 in your current parties? I would not. I would choose one or the other. So if everything is going as planned for Everybody Wins or the bonus prize giveaway, don't change a thing. But if you want something to change something up, you can go back, tag everybody in the party, and you can provide this image with this verbiage or similar verbiage. And then here is another idea. If you've already posted the $400 giveaway and you want to post something else, this is another Monday night call idea. This consistently works over and over again. And basically what you're doing is you're just posting an image on your Facebook wall and all the other places that I mentioned. You can even do this in your party. If you love Pampered Chef, pick a number between 1 and 100. And for those people that reply, you're going to send them this message and do your follow-ups. So again, it's just another little kind of fun way to kind of get people to book a party versus just saying, book a party, right? So we try to come up with clever ways to do that each and every week. And as a matter of fact, again, the Monday night calls are amazing. As I have said in the past, I never can make the Monday night calls, but I always listen to the recording the very next day. Okay, so any questions about bookings, thoughts, ideas, or we'll move on to the next subject.
Hey, Lorraine, one thing we talked about if, and I have to get disciplined about doing this, is if you do post that big box giveaway, and if you post it out there, you have to make sure you're checking your notifications or go back in and find that post. You know, do a search for the word so you know who's commented on it and who hasn't, because it can quickly get buried.
Wait, say that again. I'm not sure I'm following
If
you.
you're posting something, you have to make sure you're watching for comments on it,
Oh, for sure.
because it can quickly get lost.
Yeah.
Mine have.
Yes. But you know, other thing you can do is, let's say you put this in the party or you put this in your VIP group, you can pin it to the top. You can also pin it to the top on your Facebook wall. And that's what I did with the $400 post. That way, if I go back, it's always at the top of my wall.
Oh, okay. I hadn't
Yeah.
thought about that. Good
Yeah.
idea.
And it's, I don't know if you've always been able to do that, but I realized you can do that. And I pinned it to the top of my wall. I unpinned it just recently because I'm going to repost it. So I don't want to double post back to back there, but you can do that on your wall. Okay, but good point, because it can easily get lost. So that's the concept of this here. All right, so let's move on. We're going to go on to fundraisers, and we're going to have a little challenge with our fundraisers, but a lot of you talk about fundraisers and just are not sure the why, the who, the what, the how. So I thought I would kind of break it down just very, very simply of some of the basics of fundraisers, because I think we have a tendency to overcomplicate them, but they're really a very, very simple concept for you and for Pampered Chef. So basically, this is going to be a fundraiser is set up through Pampered Chef for any quote unquote worthy cause, but really it can be for anything. And I'm going to tell you how you can do that. So when you're working this directly through Pampered Chef, any fundraisers that are between $200 and $649.99, the Pampered Chef is going to donate 10% back to the organization. So they're going to send them a check. Checks are released the second Thursday after the party closes. So checks go out every Thursday, but it usually takes 2 Thursdays for that check to be released. They also are going to give $3 for every party that is booked. And then the special of the month, the 60% off item for the month, is going to be something that is offered to the fundraising coordinator or the host of the fundraiser. So that's all the basics of it right there. So $200 to $649.99, 10%, $650 and above, 15%, $3 for every booking, and the 60% bonus for that coordinator. So this is not like a grand amount of money. And the reason that is because most fundraising companies, they take the product price and increase it by 500%. So a $10 pizza set may really cost somebody, $30, $40, $50, because that excess is how they pay for the fundraising profits. Being, facetious in the sense of the amount, but that's really how it works, is they raise the prices. And when they raise the prices, that's what the fundraising company, or that's what the fundraiser organization gets. So we don't raise our prices. The entire catalog is available. Sometimes in other companies, they only make a small section of the catalog available, but we have our entire catalog available to everyone's disposal. And then that's the return amount. I will tell you that when I do a fundraiser, I always offer $20 for every party booked. Why do I do that? Well, obviously it increases the potential to get bookings, but I find it's rather tough to get fundraiser bookings off, or parties off of fundraisers without really offering a little extra oomph. Do you have to do that? Absolutely not. But it is a way to kind of raise the awareness for bookings from fundraisers. It's up to you completely. So the who is simply who needs, extra funds. Maybe it is a school, maybe it's a church, a dance team, a sports team, maybe someone in need, and hold the thought of how that works. Maybe it's a PTA, maybe it's somebody is raising funds for an organization and they just want to have a party in order to do that. So I'm going to kind of give you like the Pampered Chef rules, and then I'm going to give you some side note rules. So technically, fundraisers can only be for like an organization. Cannot be like my friend Susie's house burnt down and I want to do a fundraiser for her. That does not work with Pampered Chef, meaning the 10% and the 15%. However, I like to look at fundraisers as a way for me to get additional points for trips and so on. So let's say somebody comes to me and says, can we do a fundraiser for my friend's daughter who is sick with XYZ? And technically, if it's not an organization, you cannot do that. So what I will do is I will say, I'm a yes girl. So I will say, yes, absolutely, because I don't want to say no. I want to find out any way that I can help get my customers what they want, not in an illegal fashion, but just in a different fashion necessarily. So basically the way this would work is, let's say it's for somebody, an individual. I did this not too long ago for a lady who lost, unfortunately, terrible situation, lost her children in a fire. And she's always been raising money constantly to build this amazing park in Frederick. And I've done this for somebody whose house had burnt down. I did this, two people actually, their house had burnt down. So you can do this however you choose it. So basically what I do is we do a normal Pampered Chef party. And if it's really near and dear to me, I'll do two things. But typically what I will do is I will offer my commission for the fundraiser. So I make no money off of the fundraiser, but I do get all of those points. But I know it's helping. Number one, it's doing two things. It's helping this person who is in, typically a dire need situation. And it then in turn helps me with additional trip points, but not necessarily the commission. Then if the organization is near and dear to me, like a friend of mine, she just opened up in West Virginia a rescue mission for dogs, cats, and animals, which I just love her. She's done parties for me for probably 20 years. So not only did I give her my commission, but when you're doing this as a normal party and you're getting the commission and then you send the money to them, you're the host. And so you're getting all of the products. So I also let her take it. I also let her take advantage of getting all the products. So I gave her my commission and all the products, because what she was then going to do with those products is she was going to then raffle them off. So she chose all kinds of other products and raffled those off. Now, again, that's a personal choice. That is not something that you ever have to do. But if you ever get somebody who says, hey, I really need some help, a friend of mine is in a really tough situation. They've had COVID for, 8 weeks and been off work. I'll say, great, let's do a fundraiser. And then I had somebody just 2 or 3 days ago, their son is going to Europe, and she's raising money through all types of things to help support his trip. And so we're going to do a fundraiser with Pampered Chef, and I'm going to donate my commission to her. Now, if it's not something super near and dear to me, then I will just give them my commission and I will keep the products. So you can do that however you choose. You can give them everything. You can just stick with Pampered Chef's fundraiser, or you can kind of do it in this roundabout way. It's totally up to you. So like if I did a fundraiser, let's say for my daughter's school, I would not make anything off that fundraiser. I wouldn't feel right about it. I would just give all the money directly to them. So again, it just depends on what you want. But if you want to follow Pampered Chef's fundraisers, then this is what you're looking at. If you want to go with your commission rate, then you can do that. So your commission rate would be likely 20% or higher, depending upon your sales. So whenever I do a fundraiser, I always offer them 25%, which is basically the flat amount of my commission, not overrides included. So those are just some extra ways. So let's talk about how to find fundraisers. So we talked a couple of moments ago about some ways that you can find them. And I'm going to challenge you guys to find one fundraiser by Monday. One fundraiser by Monday. No rewards, just a challenge. Okay. So here are some things that you can keep your eye out for and things that you can find on your own. So obviously in your parties, you should make sure that you have our fundraising post. Not only do you make sure that you have it in there, but you want to make sure that you're checking to see if there's any messages or any comments on that particular post. So your post is like, who would you give $200 to? What organization would receive a $200 donation from you if you had $200 to give, kind of thing. Then people comment on it, and then you should be following up with those people, with the remarks that are in boards in the 7 steps. Then friends all the time on Facebook will post, in lieu of my birthday, I'm raising funds for XYZ. Anytime I see that, I always message them and, kind of have a little small talk of, oh my gosh, that's so special that you're, in lieu of your birthday or wanting to raise funds for XYZ. Did you know Pampered Chef has fundraisers, blah, 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 blah. So that's a way to do it. Keep an eye out for your friends' Facebook posts, especially birthday times, because oftentimes they will do something in lieu of that. Search for nonprofits. If you go on Facebook, just type in nonprofit, all kinds of stuff comes up. Now, those are colder leads, so they're tougher to kind of capitalize on, but they are a way to get additional parties. You can search for SPCA on Facebook. And when I say Facebook, I'm also talking about Google. Type in local SPCAs, which is, the pet rescues. Stacy says her biggest fundraisers, $4,000 or $5,000 fundraisers, always are pets. She's like, when it has to do with kids or people, they're low, but with pets, they're exponentially higher. So I would say that would be my focus for sure. Sometimes, like I said, friends will advertise on Facebook that their son is selling peanuts for their soccer team. Well, now their soccer team needs some funds. So why not offer that? There's a lot of teams, dance teams, sports teams, they're always doing fundraisers, but rarely do people think about Pampered Chef. And when they do, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. And the cool thing about fundraisers online now is, let's say, for example, you have a coordinator, the fundraiser coordinator, and you have, let's say, 20 moms that are part of this softball team. So when you set up the party, you're going to set it up that the 20 moms are the moderators. And the idea is that those 20 moms will each invite 150 to 200 different people. So you can imagine how quickly this type of fundraiser can grow. But once you have the fundraiser, if you need extra help, just let us know. But the idea is let's get some, and then we can do future training from here. So obviously sport teams, dance teams, churches, schools are all great areas to look for additional type of fundraisers. So as I mentioned, the challenge is going to be, and I'm included in that challenge, as well as all the directors, to get one fundraiser by Monday for November. Okay, because again, one fundraiser can be $500 or it could be $5,000. So it's a good thing because again, 10% or 15% of that is going to be a lot of extra money for those particular fundraisers. But again, you can offer it however you choose, your commission back or just what Pampered Chef offers. Okay, before we hit the final topic today, any questions about fundraisers?
Yeah, Lorraine, you mentioned the ones for individuals. And I may have missed this, how exactly you were doing this, but how are you listing them? Because it says you can't do them. It can't be for an individual person.
Right.
They have to have it set up to an account or something.
Right. So I just set it up as a normal party. So it's just a normal online virtual party. And she's the host or I'm the host. Usually I'm the host, unless I'm giving her the products too. So whatever the commission is from the party, when my commission check comes in, I send her a check. And so it's just a normal party. My commission, or whatever I make on that party, is going to her, because you're right, you can't list it as a fundraiser, but that's how you can kind of circumvent that that situation where we can't do fundraisers for individuals. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Do you see my husband behind me?
I did.
I'm just moving around back there. Okay, so then she gets all the free products too.
You can, or you don't have to. You can just set it up to where you're the host. You can set it up to where you're the host. You would get all those products.
Okay.
And then she would get the commission because you'd be writing her a check. But when it's something like near and dear to me, I give them the option of, hey, do you want the products too? And then you can raffle them off in baskets or something like that to make additional money.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of how to circumvent Pampered Chef's rules. But again, you are giving up your commission, or you don't have to give up your commission. Technically, you could say you get 10%, and then you, meaning you, okay, you as an organization get 10%, and you as a consultant can keep the 5%, because you only get paid 15% on fundraisers. You don't get 20%, 25%.
Lorraine, I don't want to add any confusion, but I did have just another idea.
Go ahead.
Sometimes, like, maybe bigger churches might not do this, but if people go to a smaller church, you could also, if it's like a really major cause, you know, someone's house burns down, something like that, if they're connected to a church, they could ask their church if they would accept the donation on their behalf through like a benevolence. And then the church could just write that check to them, and they're allowed to do that through benevolence. They can accept donations from wherever and give it back to an individual in need.
Okay.
So maybe an idea. I don't want, again, don't want to add confusion, but some will do that. Our church does that.
So anybody who has a question about that, Julia's number is, no, I'm kidding. No, I heard that too before, but I appreciate you bringing that up, because I did not even cross my thoughts this afternoon when I was finishing this part up. So if you have any additional questions about that, just tag Julia in the Read Rockstar group chat, and then maybe you can provide some extra details about that. So thank you very much. Okay, so let's finish this meeting up with our last topic today, and that topic is let them see you. So Pampered Chef has been talking a lot about like authenticity, uniqueness, and so on. And I use this analogy a lot, and I know there's some new consultants on here, so this will be new for you. For those of you that have been around a while, you know the drill. But here's the deal. So when we did home parties, there was a very unique aspect to it, because you had, you know, consultants who could knock a party out of the park and you'd be like, God, she's amazing, right? Or you'd have a consultant who was brand new, just getting started, and you know, maybe just learning the way things work out. And so that would create a very unique opportunity, because you could have them make the recipe with you, you could make the recipe for them, you could do a simple catalog walk. I mean, there were so many different ways you could bring your personality to the party. But when it's just the virtual parties, there's really no opportunity like there was an opportunity in the past, or so they thought. So this is why Stacy has been, I don't know if you guys have noticed, has been really, really going nuts on the videos, which is great because this gives us the opportunity to take those videos and use them. So there is an app, and I know I mentioned this before, but there is an app called the Friendly app. So it's just the word friendly and the app. And so basically what the Friendly app does is if Stacy or somebody else, and you have to get permission from somebody else, but Stacy's already given us permission, but you take, you go in through the Friendly app, which connects to Facebook and allows you to download her videos, but it disconnects her links, which to me is important because I don't really want to put somebody else's video links in my party. Some people do it all the time. I maybe don't have issue with it, but I've had it happen to me several times where I've either purposely put somebody's video in and they happen to reach out to somebody else accidentally, and I don't want that to happen. So if you see something through Stacy and you want to download it, use the Friendly app. It's totally free. It's super easy to use. Hold on one second. Okay, so you download the Friendly app and then you can download the video without any of her links, and then you can upload them back into your parties. So that creates a nice authenticity or makes it more authentic, because a lot of Stacy's videos, she doesn't show her face. You just maybe hear her voice and you just see her hands working. And that is enough to make your parties more unique than somebody else. So it's kind of like this. If you just took all of Pampered Chef's content or all of the content that we give you, you are no different than any other Pampered Chef consultant, because that's what the average consultant does. They just take what the content they're given and put it in their parties and it runs. And it's kind of just okay. Like it's just kind of blasé. And that kind of relates me to this visual image that I want to create for you. So if you've ever been to a strip mall, in a strip mall, you have all these different stores. Like there's rules that you can't have two stores of the same kind next to each other within a certain feet of each other. You can't have so many grocery stores in a certain amount of radius. When you're in a neighborhood, you can't have the same color shutters or what do you call it, siding as your neighbor. You know, there's all these kinds of rules. They're kind of trying to create some uniqueness. So if you walked into a strip mall and every single store was Pampered Chef and they offered the exact same products and the exact same services, it wouldn't make anybody unique. So it really wouldn't matter which Pampered Chef store you went to. But if there was one Pampered Chef store that had like a beautiful display in the window, their lights were blinking, free items here, coffee when you walk in, personalized service, lifetime guarantees, you're going to have a line at that Pampered Chef store because it's unique, it's authentic, it's different, it's not like every strip mall. So we want to make our parties very, very similar to the sense of we don't want them to be the same kind of parties over and over and over again, in the sense of my party exactly like Lori's, exactly like Susan's, exactly like Julia's. You don't want your party to be like that. So the more videos that you can create, it doesn't even have to be your face in them, the better off. And that's why Stacy has made so many videos with her just using her hands. But the problem is you use her videos, you also grab her link. So again, make sure you use that Friendly app. So I've been trying to think of ideas and ways to kind of continue to bring this authenticity in it. And, you know, I add a whole bunch of my own videos. I'm so long-winded and I have got to work on that. But the beauty of doing these videos is you can splice them, cut them, and that kind of thing. And that's been a heaven sent. I have a pretty amazing following on TikTok. It doesn't necessarily bring in a lot of orders, but I am getting orders there. I actually have a Linktree account and I have a link just set up for TikTok users. So I know that I'm getting traction there. So that's a good thing to do, is to set up a Linktree account. It's totally free. If you do Reels, if you do any type of Instagram, things like that, you can actually set up just a simple Instagram account on Linktree, and then it gives you the ability to see, are my videos even making any difference? So that's a good thing to kind of know. But one of the things that I wanted to do, and this is not perfected, but it's definitely heading down the path that I want to head down. And I think what happens is we lose some people through the process of going through the parties because they can't find the link. They're just seeing videos. They don't know, where they're supposed to go next type of thing. So I decided, okay, I want to take this catalog and I want to break it down into bite-sized pieces. And so what I did is I went into the catalog and I created video segments of the catalog. And again, it's not perfected, so I'm not ready to give it to you guys yet, but I'm going to perfect it with Stacy's help. She's already looked into a couple of them and has given it her total stamp of approval, but it's just got to be a little bit shorter. So I just want to kind of show you like what's in the works, because everything that I'm going to create here, I'm going to create it so there aren't links attached to it. It's just going to be a straight YouTube video, and then it will be linked to my YouTube account, but it won't be linked to me in the sense of like ordering links type of thing. So there may be ways to even circumvent that. Julia probably could help us out there. So let me just show you really quick 2 things that I've done. And then also I've done 2 other things that I'm super excited about, and I'm going to share with you those. So again, this is going to bring in a little bit of authenticity. It's going to bring in a little bit uniqueness, and it's something that I know for a fact that others are not doing. So I think it can kind of help. So you can see here, this is a segment in my parties called the catalog walk. And I am so long-winded, I wish I wasn't, but it's hard to decide like what you don't want to cut or what you don't want to use and what you do want to use. But I know this is going to be heading down the right track. And again, I got Stacy's blessing, so I know I'm going down the right track. So basically what I did is each day I would go into the catalog and I would cover a segment of the catalog. So day 2 of the party, I would cover all the appliances. And because there's only 4 appliances, it only took me 11 minutes. Now, what I'm going to do is 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to speed up the video. That's going to take this probably down to about 8 minutes. And then I'm going to cut some things out. So I'm hoping to get it down to about a 5-minute video. Going to be tough, but I'm going to do it. And then these videos, interesting. This is a 19-minute video covering the cookware. The cookware is my favorite category. I could literally talk an hour about the cookware. I sell a ton of cookware, and it's truly because I love it. And I think this is going to accentuate that just a bit, because now it's kind of like the cooking show aspect without going to a cooking show. It gives you a little bit more detail about the product. Then on day 4, we went over baking and entertaining. And then on day 5, we went over the holiday gift guide. And then on day 6, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do just like a quick 5-minute overview. But I don't know if you can see, but each of these days you see I'm actually in the catalog. So let me show you the next image, which might, no, I guess that didn't work too well. Shoot, hold on. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick snapshot. We're not going to listen to this whole thing. And I am coming live. Can you guys hear that? To share the treasured Pampered Chef catalog. Let me pause here. So this looks really grainy because right now it's like in an SD format, but when it comes into the parties, it's in an HD format and it's crystal clear. So it just looks a little yucky right now, but that's not how it looks for real. I'm super excited that you guys are here, and I want to give you an extensive overview each day of several parts of our catalog. So each day I'm going to kind of dice through a few pages, and that way you'll have a full overview by the time the party is over. Party started on Friday, ends on Wednesday of next week. So thank you guys for joining, and you're in for a very great treat. If you have any questions or you want this catalog to flip through it digitally, just make a comment below and I'll make sure that I get that. If you know how to tag me, because that way I'll be sure not to miss your notification. So let's go ahead and dive right in to our Pampered Chef products. So the first thing we're going to start off with are our small appliances, and then tomorrow we'll move on to a different facet of the catalog. So our small appliances are fantastic. We have several different ones, from our cooking blender to our multi-cooker here to our flex prep, and of course my favorite air fryer. So you can use these products for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for snacks, and a push of a button, everything is ready to go. So All right, let's just move a little further through.
That is starting to release from the cheese. So just buy fresh, it's so much better. Then you can make any kind of sauces, like you can make a tomato sauce, hummus, tzatziki, I think is the way you call it, with the Greek yogurt and all those yummy Greek seasonings. You can mix up your muffins and your cakes with the blender action. Then you can whip. So whip up your frostings and your cream cheese and your icings and things like that. And then you have an immersion blender, so you can use it on top of your stovetop for your sauces and your soups and your homemade dressing. I love homemade dressing. Drum roll. This product has changed the way I cook forever. It is amazing. It is the Pampered Chef's air fryer, and it can be used for air frying, baking, roasting, rotisserie, reheat, and dehydrate. It is endless. I put this baby to the test right away when I got it, probably about 3 years ago. Took a 5-pound chicken, and you'll see here, you're gonna put these little probes right through it. It actually turns the chicken like it's at Sam's Club, right up in your kitchen. When you walk in your house and you smell that chicken, it smells just like Sam's Club. It is so amazing, super crispy on the outside, incredibly moist in the center. You will never buy a rotisserie chicken anywhere else unless you need an oven. It is that good. Then you're also going to get this tool here. These are the kebabs, so you can.
Okay, so you get the gist there. So I've got to figure out a way to shorten it, but it's on the right track per Stacy. So let me show you one other one. Okay, hold on. There we go.
Hello, everyone. It's Lori with Pampered Chef. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. I wanted to come back and share a little bit more about the Pampered Chef. And this is a very, very special time.
Here, let's move further in.
Such a thing, but Good Housekeeping magazine actually rated all the different air fryers, and there's only 5 on the market, and Pampered Chef is one of them that is a non-toxic air fryer. And it can do anything from your bacon to your chicken nuggets.
We've already talked about the air fryer. Let's move on.
Goodness, you're gonna want that. I actually made chicken wings the other night with the honey sriracha, and whew, it was so amazing. Little ranch, and I was good to go. For those that love to make hamburger, mix and chop, you need to buy a mix and chop for everybody. It's the first product we've ever sold 1 million in a day. This is our mix and chop. Use it to mix and chop your food. It's ideally made for hamburger meat, so you can chop it up into tiny, fine pieces, not big chunks here, little chunks there, constantly moving and chopping, chop, 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 just by kind of throwing it down, moving it, throwing it. Then you can also use it for salsa guacamole. You can also, like chunky salsa, chunky guacamole. You can also use it for eggs. And then any other types of foods that you might need to mix and chop. Like when I'm making meatloaf, I'll actually take that. It kind of mimics my fingers, and then it's easier to kind of clean up and not have to through your fingers. So everyone loves their smooth edge can opener. It actually speaks to what it is. It's a can opener that creates a smooth edge. So when you go to use it and cut, you're not going to have to worry about the jagged edges on the side.
Okay, you get the gist. So again, I'm going to have to shorten this up, but throughout this entire process, you didn't hear all of it, of course, but I'm also talking about bookings and how, you can get the cookware at a discount and you can get it for free and blah, 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 blah. So it's not just about the products. It's also intertwining booking and even the possibility of recruiting. And then this is the final one that I just finished up today. And Stacy's like, if you can get this in a 3 to 4 minute time slot, this is fire. So I'll let you take a watch at this. And I have this entire, so let me back up. So the reason I'm showing you guys this is because what I'm going to end up doing is creating one that doesn't have my face. It just has my voice. And that way you can use it for your entire parties and you don't have to recreate this, or you can recreate it and you can use your face in the picture-in-picture concept. So let's move on to this last one. And this is what we call a booking slide. So we have what are called booking slides and recruiting slides. And way back in the day, we used to go to parties and we would show them all the benefits of hosting a party. And it would be this like 15-page slide whipped out showing all the benefits, and it really brought everything to life because there was pictures and so on and so forth. So that's what this is, and this will be our last piece this evening, but I'll let you kind of watch this from start to finish. We'll kind of move through some things that are a little bit slower and where I'm going to take out some pieces. So let's talk about our booking slide, and this is, I'm going to put this in my parties on Wednesdays and tag everybody in the post.
Hey there, everyone. It's Lorraine coming back with Pampered Chef, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to share some of the most amazing perks of being a Pampered Chef host. One of the things that I know with Pampered Chef is they absolutely have the most amazing products. They back up their products and they give us a whopping, and I mean whopping, host program, and that benefits you. So let me share with you, let's actually take a walk down Pampered Chef Lane to learn more about what you can get as a Pampered Chef host. So first of all, having an online party is super fun and super easy. It is the best opportunity for those of you that are super busy and can't imagine putting another thing on your plate. After the party, what you're going to say is, OMG, that is the easiest party I have ever had, and I can promise you that. So buckle up your seatbelts and get in for an amazing ride with the Pampered Chef host benefit perks. Here we go. First and foremost, Pampered Chef hosts never pay full price for an entire year. As a matter of fact, a lot of my hosts rebook every 6 months or every 12 months so they can continue to receive tons and tons of perks with the Pampered Chef host program. So again, it's fun, it's easy, and you're never going to pay full price. So let's move on to another image of what you can expect as a Pampered Chef host. So what I did here is I outlined a big kind of framework of what you will receive for free when you have your own party. So I would say on the super low end, as a matter of fact, the national average is a $500 party. But I am on one of the top teams in the country, and we have the systems and processes in place to help our hosts have the most amazing parties possible. So our parties are just under $700. As a matter of fact, mine are closer to the mid 900s. So if you take a look at this chart, you're going to see if you had an average Pampered Chef party, you're talking $75 in totally free products. You do not pay a penny. And that's why hosting is free with the Pampered Chef. Most of my parties are about $900, so many of my hosts get $190 in totally free shopping. But you can see here, the more sales that are collected through the party, the higher the benefits are for you. And the more exciting it is for your friends. We have our parties on Facebook, and we know the more friends that are in the party having fun, the more Facebook allows you and your friends to see. So it's a win-win situation for everyone involved. Let's talk about half-price products. Can you imagine, for example, our whole set of cookware is in the mid 300s. And you might say, oh, mid 300s. But if you have a party, you can get that half off. And some of my hosts actually earn the cookware for free. Now we have individual pieces, so you can say, oh, I want that stock pot, I want that skillet, and I'm going to get them half off. Most of my hosts earn all 5 items at 50% off, but at the very minimum, you'll earn one and you can decide how you want to use that half price item. How amazing is that? It's like you just walked in, you imagine, like think about this scenario. You just walked into Target and they handed you a $100 coupon, totally free, and then 5 coupons for 50% off. I don't know about you guys, but I would be rummaging through Target, finding everything that I want. And that's the experience that you're going to have as a host with a Pampered Chef. You're going to get all these little coupons that you can use through your party. And by the time you're done, you can walk away scotch-free or at least half off everything that you would like, in addition to your free items. But it gets even better than that. So let's move on to the next part. You're also going to be able to get up to 30% off of anything in the catalog. So can imagine, again, you're in Target and the speaker comes on and says, hey, everyone in the store gets 30% off everything. I don't know about you, but I would need more than one cart. Like you can never get out of Target with less than $100, right? Well, now you can walk through the Pampered Chef with this amazing discount. And these are the discounted products that you can get is is everything in the entire catalog. So how great is that, right? And then as we mentioned, 10% off for the entire year. Many of my hosts, as I mentioned, will actually book 6 months after their party because they know that new products.
Sorry, you get the gist.
use one item at 40, and all we have to do at this point in time is literally just pick a date. Then you're going to be able to experience all the fun and incredible rewards that the Pampered Chef has to offer our hosts. And this is where I need another drum roll. Actually, that one's better. You get me. You get me as your Pampered Chef consultant to treat your friends to this amazing experience in this wonderful world of the Pampered Chef. So let's do a quick recap and let me share with you exactly what you'll do as a host. Because oftentimes people think, oh, I'm so busy. And gosh, you know what? We are all busy. But that's my specialty. My specialty is helping my hosts have the easiest party possible. So at the end of their party, they say to themselves, wow, that was much easier than I expected. And they then encourage their friends to have parties. So here are the party details.
Okay, so you get the point. And it's funny because I'm sitting here and I'm like, la, 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 la. So I know that I've got to shorten this. I know for one facet of it, it's going to be simply just speeding it up. I think I can get probably almost half the time off just by increasing the speed by 2. And then I'm going to have to edit this a little bit. But the idea here is that you're going to be able to bring the idea of having their own party to life. And the idea also is to state the objections. We know the number one objection that people have is time. So I'm saying right there, you know, my specialty is making these parties as easy as possible. These are perfect for the busiest of hosts. We know everyone's busy. That's why blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to share just kind of a couple things that I'm working on, but I will let you know that, let me see if I brought it up here. Yes. Okay. So these are the slides that you can use if you'd like to in the meantime. If you wanted to create your own video with this, or if you just wanted to use these slides in a PowerPoint type of image stack. So these are all of the images and you can use them all as you choose. You can put them into one post into your template, or you can use them as you choose. So that way, it'll give you the flexibility to either just get comfortable with this layout or to be able to use it eventually as you'd like. And I'll even give you, if you'd like, the Canva link, which will then allow you to obviously replace my picture with your picture. So you don't have to go live with it. You could go verbal with it, and you probably would be able to shorten it up even more doing it that way. So that is what I wanted to cover today. Before we hop off, any questions, thoughts, ideas?
When you mentioned the Friendly app, does that apply to Post My Party as far as the videos on there?
Well,
Do we have to?
no.
Video?
No, the Friendly app, I don't want you to get too confused because it can get confusing. The Friendly app is only an interface with Facebook. So anything on Facebook, it can interface with. But in other words, PMP is a whole nother entity. So you don't want to use the Friendly app in that way. The only reason I use the Friendly app is if I'm trying to pull something from somebody else's site without using their links, basically is how it works. So like if you want to Stacey's business
Website. Okay.
You could grab something that way.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, so I know this was a lot of information. This back half of it was just to kind of give you a heads up of some things that are kind of happening and that are in the works. And the idea is that, again, I want to create this in a generic format and in a generic process with a much quicker processing speed, and then be able to share it with you guys. So not only do you have a way of sharing this, but you also don't have to end up duplicating this process. But I want to also give you the blank slides, because if you choose, you can make it your own in that fashion. So I know it's a lot of information, but I am going to provide you with the video. I am going to provide you with this slideshow, PowerPoint, so you can edit and pull out links and things like that along the way. So any other questions? Everybody good? Okay. And I wasn't sure whether we had anyone here for new consultant training. If we do, Hang on the line and we will start that process here in just a couple of moments. But I'm going to end the recording now for this part of our meeting.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
So you're gonna do it on here, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me just, I gotta end this part of it. Oh, here we go.
Were you overwhelmed, Brenda? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've had a very hectic, busy day.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm thinking, since you've already sat in on this training, I just want to give you, I don't want to go into the full training aspect of it because it is a lot of information. What I'd rather do is kind of go over what the next kind of week looks like for you. And then that way we can tailor up the training, you know, just for you. So if I'm not mistaken, you are doing a party with Jennifer starting on Friday?
I am. Give me a minute, y'all. Okay.
No worries.
I'm sorry. Give me a minute.
So Jennifer, just between you and I, what has she ordered the kit?
I don't believe so.
Okay, all right, so we'll wait on
No,
that.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I mean, that message, I'm not sure if she.
Sorry, my phone was dying.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
My phone was dying and I'm dealing with a sick boyfriend. Oh, it's bad.
Have you been able to get on and order the kit yet, Brenda?
I have not.
Okay,
No.
okay, no worries. All right, so I'm gonna kind of talk to both of you at the same time. First, I'm gonna just kind of give a couple of details to Jennifer. So, Brenda, once you order your kit, then you'll want to give your Pampered Chef password and sign on to Jennifer. And then Jennifer, you're going to go into her consultant's corner and set up the party. So that way you'll be able to pull the links that are necessary. Normally you would set up her party on your page, but you're going to set it up on her page. So that way, when the party starts on Friday, they're going to be ordering from her party versus she's the host and you're the consultant.
Say it one more time.
Okay, and I can actually do this for you if it makes it a little bit easier. So basically, when she signs up, she's going to give you her username and her password. And then you're going to go into, shoot, I'm recording this, hold on.